Hello, welcome. I'm Kevin, and today's video is about writing email sequences. Now, if you're into writing emails, email sequences are very important, and I'll tell you why. But first of all, let me tell you exactly what an email sequence is. Now, unlike broadcast emails where you just decide to send out an email directly to your list or a number of lists, a sequence is really planned out in advance, and it's specifically on a subject, or generally it's on a subject. For instance, directly below this video, I have a link to an email tutorial. Now that's going to be a sequence of emails. I'm just rewriting this one. I decided after about 3 or 4 years it needed updating. So if you want to see how it works, you subscribe to that directly below. And it's on email marketing. I'm going to give you everything you need to know to start writing profitable emails and hopefully make a profit by the time you get to the end of it. So I'm giving you value. Now, once you've got a sequence, you can use them in a number of ways and they become very valuable assets. Before they become highly valuable, though, you need to optimize them. So I kind of write them out just once and then I optimize them. And that might be the headline. I'm constantly looking at my autoresponder to see the open rate and get the open rate as high as possible and the conversion rate as high as possible. Or if people are switching off halfway down the email, I'll sort of improve it in some way. And I can do all this by looking at my stats on my autoresponder. So basically what I'm doing is making my sequence as best I can make it, as profitable as I can make it. And when it's at that point, then it's very valuable because I can use it in a number of ways. I can start driving traffic to it. And the nice thing is about a sequence is you're offering value. It's not just one thing you're going to give them, it's a whole sequence of actions, a whole sequence of information. So people will quite happily subscribe to your email list for that. You don't have to look around for any other sort of ethical bribe. And when it's actually optimized, it's totally automatic. Whether you're sleeping, you're away on holiday, you're doing some completely different, it works on automatic. The selling, whatever. Now let me talk about selling for a moment. When I say selling, obviously if I'm going to make an email sequence on email marketing, I'm going to suggest you use certain tools, such as you'll need autoresponders and such like. So these are the solutions to problems you may have. Without an autoresponder, an email sequence isn't going to work. So my sequences are actually quite profitable because they've been optimized so well. Now, I use them quite often in my broadcast emails. And what I mean by that is most of my sequences are on the subject of making money. So I might mention in one broadcast email about email marketing, and there's a link to it. And if people click that link, it's telling me through the autoresponder I used that somebody's interested. And that could trigger the sequence. It could trigger another email saying, would you like to subscribe to this sequence? Now, people might not be interested in email marketing today or whatever sequence you write, but they might further down the road. So I have a whole load of sequences. In fact, I have 16 altogether, 16 main money making sequences that I'll use at different points. And it tells me what people are interested in next. I use them as solutions. So they're constantly getting high grade information or the chance to subscribe to my next email sequence. Right now it's the start of 2020 and I've got, I think, 6 new sequences I'm going to make in the next few weeks, and I'll tell you how I do that in just a moment. Now, the important thing is when you do optimize them, that you test everything. Test the headline, test the open ratio, test the click-through ratio, test the call to action. Now, I don't sell in every email. I'll come to that in a moment as well. One of the greatest things about sequences is that they're very good for taking cold prospects into customers and purchase ready customers and repeat customers. There are a few considerations that I would ask you to think on seriously when you write an email sequence. Don't try and sell immediately. It's not about selling, it's about adding value, it's about trust, and money will follow if you do that. So some people when they write a sequence, they immediately start trying to sell something. And this is what they're expecting, and it doesn't go down very well. So don't try selling immediately. Try and give value, first of all, in the first couple of emails, and maybe in your third or fourth or even fifth email, then you can start leading up to something. You might be trying to pre-sell it, and then you give them a link to it. And if they want to buy it, then you get a commission. Tell them a little about yourself. Now, in my sequences, I tell them quite a lot about me and how I got involved in email marketing in this sequence anyway, because I know people want to know about it. They want to know the background. And the funny thing is that the more you tell them about yourself, the more they become trusting customers. You see, people don't buy from companies. They prefer to buy from people. People buy from people, if possible. Now, what I suggest you do is also invite questions, and there's a very good reason for that. I told you that when I optimize my videos, I'll sometimes take those questions and add them into the sequence. So if somebody asks something really important, something I haven't thought about, I might sort of pull the emails apart and slip another one in between and say, Fred Blogs ask this, and it's a really good question, and here's why, and go into it. And that's how to give really good value. So I invite questions. Now, if you want to put a sequence together, what I suggest is think about what you want to write your sequence on. Make sure it's not too big. I mean, email marketing is really, really big. So I do give some subsequences in it. But basically, I'll work out what information I need to give them. So at the end of it, they can say, yeah, I know how to do that. That was a very good value, and I appreciate it. And then I tend to write just one email every day. Now, I do this every day across the year. So you can see by the end of the year, you can have some very strong email sequences put together. And remember, when you implement them, they'll carry on working for years to come if you optimize them correctly. Okay, so I hope that, let me just bring you back over here. I hope that helps you in writing your first email sequence. If you have any questions, please write them down below. And guess what? I'll be very glad to answer them for you. What I would ask you to do is please click on the subscribe button and the little bell next to it. And that way I'll keep you updated every time I make a new video. So until next time, thank you very much for joining me today. I really have enjoyed making this video for you, and I look forward to speaking to you very shortly, perhaps in the next video or even in my email. Bye bye for now.